Yesterday you were given an assignment. That assignment had 2 days on it, so we're going to scroll down on Seesaw. There's not a new task. It is the task that you got yesterday. Kevin Hankey's creating a story in Pixton, okay? On day 2, it says review with your teacher the success criteria for how to make an awesome comic. Yes, again. You're going to discuss and review the character traits you are working on developing as you write today, okay? And we're going to recall, which means remember, how many times Kevin Hankey's reviewed his work before being happy with it. If you remember our video about Kevin Hankey's, he said that he will often read a book for more than a year before he decides he is done. Now, obviously, I don't want you guys to take a year to figure that out, but it should take more than just yesterday, all right? So go ahead and edit your response from yesterday. So you're going to open up that same response. Bella, you're going to start a response. Camille, you can start yours, sis. Josh, you need to start your response. Libby, Morrow, and Serenity, you also need to start your responses, please. Brayden, I'm going to send yours back because we're working on it again today. So go ahead and open that response.
Miss Sousa.
We're pausing right now, Terrence. And then hop to slide 5, please. Slide 5 says day 2. Hop to slide 5. So again, the task from yesterday, opening up the task from yesterday and going to day 2. Let's take a look at slide 6. I want you to review what your goal is for an awesome comic. We talked yesterday about this rubric. This is how you get grades. Okay, so if you get a perfect score, you're in awesome, and that means you get all 3 points for this section, 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 and all 3 points for this section. That is 5 threes, so this whole assignment is worth 15 points, okay? So you are aiming for 15 points. In order to get 15 points, your comic strip has to contain 6 to 8 panels with creative backgrounds and characters. In order to get all your points, your comic has to tell a creative story, including the somebody wanted but so then that we planned last Friday. And remember, if you need to know where that is, it's linked right here on slide 1. There it is, okay? In order to get a perfect score, your story has to make the theme very clear. Again, you identified a theme. It's important to be honest. Sharing with others is important. What were some of the other themes? Hard work pays off. So you had a theme. I got to be able to tell what your theme is by reading your story. You can get all your points by having the dialogue be creative and brings the characters to life, okay? I want you to grab a star. Shapes tool, star. This is what we are going to focus on with your partner today, is your dialogue. And then your spelling and grammar has no errors. We'll get to that point. It's not perfect yet. We'll get there. All right, the reason we are starring dialogue and text is I looked through your comics yesterday, and my gosh, you guys have some very, very, very great beginnings, okay? You have wonderful backgrounds. You have awesome settings. You have the characters interacting with each other, and you have characters walking away. Your actions for your characters are wonderful, okay? So your actions are wonderful. Our dialogue is pretty boring, okay? A lot of your dialogue is, hi, how are you? I'm good. Will you be my friend? Yes. Okay. If y'all went to the library and picked up a book and that's what the dialogue was, you'd say, and you'd put it back down, okay? So we're gonna add more dialogue today. I want your conversations to sound the way that they would if you were actually acting out the book, okay? So our dialogue is what you're going to focus on with your partner. Remember, your dialogue, what your characters say, how your characters act, is going to tell their traits. Kevin Hankey's characters are very, very, very clear with their traits. All right, we know Lily is bossy. We know Lily is stubborn. We know Wendell is careful. We know Wendell is kind. All right, so you are going to show me your character's traits through their words. How are they saying things? What are they saying? So we're going to make improvements on our dialogue and our text today, okay? You are going to go into a breakout room. Screen sharing is going to be on, and you are going to share your screen and read your comic to your partner. Your partner is going to give you one compliment and one idea for how to make your comic better. Okay, specifically about the dialogue. All right, so one compliment to your partner, one thing they did well, and one way that they can change the words to make them better. What questions do I have about your task right now? Yes, Tim.
I couldn't even think of a good book idea of the background.
Oh, thank you for bringing up the backgrounds. Yes. A lot of you yesterday were very concerned because you wanted a specific background and it was not available to you. I want you to know that I know which backgrounds are available to you. So if you need to get creative or if you want to leave your background blank and then use the words to show where they are, or put like a narration bubble that says at the baseball field or later at football, something like that, that's fine. I am not going to count off points to you because you did not buy a background. Okay, so your backgrounds are okay. I know which ones are there. It's fine if it doesn't match perfect. Thank you for bringing that up, Tim. Yes, Leah.
And also don't forget on a bunch of your sentences, put capital letters.
Yep, that's a great feedback point to give to your partner. And make sure you remember that your dialogue is not just about capital letters and punctuation, and we don't want it to be boring. So when you're reading your partner's work, tell them how they can make it less boring. What would make it more interesting? Okay. Other questions? Yes, Terrence.
I was going to ask, can I share my dialogue with everybody?
Not right now. Nope. We're going to share it with your partner, but thank you for being willing to do that.
No.
Camille, I responded to you in the chat. Let me know if that's what you needed, okay? All righty. So you are going to finish your Pixton story today. Tomorrow we will edit for punctuation, for grammar, for capitalization, and all of that good stuff. But your whole Pixton should be done today, okay? Remember, this is a writing grade. If you want to know how I'm grading you, we've talked about it 4 times now. It will be using this rubric. You want to aim for awesome. All right, friends? Okay. Remember, just like Kevin Hankey's, our work can always improve. It can always get better. We can always add more creative elements, add more conversation, longer sentences. Think through what would make this a super interesting comic for someone else to read. When someone else picks up your comic, is it going to be interesting? Is it going to make sense? All right, friends.